Hey, this is Ruth Hartunian-Elba, otherwise known as Ravings and Cravings, coming to you today from the community license. Wait a second, I should know this one, but from the Click Kitchen. So it's the community license cooperative kitchen here in, is it Wyndham, Willimantic? Which one is it?
Wyndham.
I think it's Wyndham. Yeah, I am coming to you from that kitchen, and I'm here with Keegan Gelbert, and we're going to talk about his business called Reef to Table. First, a shout out to Tony's Pizza, and also a shout out to Elm Discount Package Store. Thank you for sponsoring this program. Thank you for making it possible for me to eat oysters today, because that is what I'm going to do, and I am not afraid to do that. I will tell you that right now. Keegan, tell us a little bit about what you're studying at UConn, and we're going to get the party started. He brought a whole bunch of oysters, so for those of you who are in the radio world, you're not going to see anything. I'm going to try to describe things, but you have to see this on YouTube, so it's definitely going to be worth it to see that when that comes out. So give us a little intro about you, who you are, and what you're studying at UConn.
Okay, sure. Am I looking at you or at the camera?
You can look anywhere you want. Camera's
at
fine.
The oysters,
you can look
sure.
at me once in a while.
My name is Keegan, and thank you for the introduction, by the way. My name is Keegan. I'm a master's student in nutritional sciences at University of Connecticut, and actually our work in that lab or in the research we do is related to shellfish quality. And that's been going on for several years now, my involvement there, and I thought what better way to, bring that research into a real world application is actually, beginning to serve oysters and maybe share that knowledge with others.
Awesome. So you have your own truck.
Yes.
And what do you serve, pray tell, out of that truck?
So oysters and more oysters.
And only oysters? Oysters only?
So we do have specials that are, with mussels and with other shellfish. Among the oyster-based options, it's raw oysters, steamed oysters, baked oysters, and fried oysters.
Oysters
yeah.
forever. I personally love them, and I like them raw. So how do you like them?
So, unpopular opinion here. My favorite way to eat oysters is actually just a plain steamed oyster. I love it. I like the way that it firms up the meat. I say unpopular opinion there because most of the people that I talk with, their favorite is either the raw or the baked. We do make some mean baked oysters, I will say, but and my brother loves the fried oysters. He'll I don't know if it's allowed to say his hangover snack.
Okay. Well, if it works, it works.
20 of them.
Wow. I could eat 20 of them without a hangover. So you brought some oysters with you. So which species did you bring?
So in terms of species, there's actually two main oyster species that you'll find in the United States, and that is Crassistraea gigas, which is the the Pacific oyster, and
that's a mouthful.
and Crassistraea virginica, which is what you'll find on the East Coast more commonly on the East Coast.
So that's one of each. This is
I guess if I drew a line down here, these. If it's Crassistraea gigas, it's going to be a much larger oyster.
So I'm going to just hold one up, so that people can see.
They are, yeah.
They're
if you do
huge.
that side-by-side comparison,
yeah.
you can expect a much larger oyster if it's Crassistraea gigas.
You're going to pop that thing open and we're going to give it a try?
I would love to.
So hold your hands up so that people
Sure.
can see there. If you can, so you
While
have
I'm
a
shucking?
tool.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is.
Okay, yeah. So this is a shucking knife. So you're going to want to kind of get it wedged in there. I actually just went to a shucking competition last week.
Shucking competition. And how'd you do?
Average. I did about average, which, I'll take it considering it's our first year doing it.
This is takes quite a lot of energy.
It takes a lot of force.
Skill, yeah.
So if anyone's wondering why oysters in a restaurant cost $3 a piece, but it's a labor heavy
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 8 oysters here with us. How much did you pay for these babies, if I may ask, just to get an idea of prices?
So these were actually $2.25 a piece, which is really expensive for oysters.
That's expensive. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Usually wholesale is going to be around $1 a piece. Oh,
I'm gonna grab you this.
yeah. So oyster shells are sharp.
Yeah.
And actually, I usually shuck with a shucking glove for that exact reason.
All right. So should I go ahead and give it a try? Do you eat it as it is?
Maybe not with this one.
Yeah.
Because of blood.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will show off that is a beautiful oyster.
Awesome. So maybe while you grab a paper towel, I'm going to just talk a little bit about. You can actually talk while you're working.
Sure.
Social media presence. How can people find you, and how can people hire you if they would like to, if they'd like to enjoy your oysters?
Yeah. So on Instagram, we're found at Reef Oysteria. So that's Oysteria. Kind of like pizzeria.
Oysteria.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's on Instagram. We're trying to get more active on Facebook. My girlfriend's saying we should be on TikTok too. So.
All right, Mr. Keegan Jalbert, I'm ready to eat some oysters.
All right.
So you brought 2 different kinds.
Correct.
How many kinds are there? Do you know?
Oh, geez. In terms of species.
Yeah.
That's
I have no
I think
idea.
there might be like 5. In the United States, there's 2 like mostly recognized.
Okay, 2 mostly.
Most of the oysters that we're eating are either falling into Crassistraea gigas, which is a Pacific oyster. It's a lot larger, or Crassistraea virginica, which is what you're almost always finding on the East Coast.
All right, so you're popping. Do you want to tell me the technical term for what you're doing?
So shucking an oyster it takes a little bit of force and a little bit of patience. So don't don't hurt yourself shucking oysters at home. If anyone wants to try an oyster at home,
I think I'll trust the professional rather than trying that at home, because you're having to put some force in there with that tool, and there's a technique to that, I'm sure, huh?
Yeah, so it takes a lot of force, and you got to use an oyster shucking knife, but you can end up with a nice fresh oyster. And you clean off the muscle from the top, and I'll discard the top shell. You don't really need to hold on to the top shell, and then you have to separate also the adductor muscle from the bottom.
Oh, all right. So that's what he's doing. So radio people, Keegan is using his, what do you call the tool?
Shucking knife.
He's using his shucking knife to release the oyster from its shell.
And just like that, you have an oyster that is ready to eat. This oyster is pretty clean. It doesn't really have a lot of sand in it. I don't know if that one's for you or...
I'll eat it.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
sure.
Go for it.
So there's a lot of liquid in there. Does it matter? Like, do you ever drain that off, or do you just go for... Is it a personal preference?
So it's big personal preference. I don't like it very salty. So I actually do drain it off, because that water, the water in there is salt water.
I just died and went to heaven. I just slurped some of this into my mouth.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Oh, good.
Can you shuck for an hour? And I think I might be satisfied by the time I'm done. This is okay. I'm gonna slurp down the rest of. I just got a little bit of it first time around, but I'm gonna just eat the rest of it here.
So when I choose oysters, I try to get a variety of oysters, because they really do vary. I mean, you think of like other agricultural products, there is some variant. Say like a carrot, for example. A carrot from one farm versus another, you might not notice a huge difference, but an oyster one farm from another, it is a real representation of what is the water quality like in that area. What is the salinity? What is the feed composition. There's so much that goes into oyster quality and flavor profile.
So this oyster that I just had was so tender, and it was probably the best one I had, and it reminds me of an oyster that I had, you know, how we remember things. I remember food, right? So I was in Boston in the Back Bay, and it was probably 35 years ago, and they were just shucking them fresh. They just get them off the boat, and oh my goodness, they were so good, and I thought, I will never have an oyster this good again. And I just had one. Great pick. And you said these each were like $2 and how much? 25?
These are $2.25 per. That was coming from a pretty expensive source, actually.
Well, thank you for bringing this in. I appreciate it very much. I could eat 2 dozen of these, no problem.
Really? Yeah.
Okay, so let's not talk about me. Let's say if someone wanted to hire you to bring your truck and to shuck oysters, to provide, you have a menu, so you should probably talk about what you have on your oyster menu. But if someone wanted to hire you, how would they go about doing that for an event where you could bring your truck there?
Yeah, so the best way to do that is just going to reach out to my email. That's keegan@reeftotable.com. So that's our website is reeftotable.com. We can do events. We've done a couple bridal showers, for example. That was always those are fun. There's a very good energy at the bridal showers.
You can show up anywhere. So what are some of the products that you can create in your truck that people can choose from when they want to have oysters?
So our main products that we serve are oyster. So it's, obviously a fresh raw shucked oyster. Like this looks beautiful. You talk about a tender oyster.
Wow.
I don't know if I should hold that up to
go for it.
the camera.
Hold it closer to the camera so people can see what a good oyster looks like. And I have to.
A nice fresh oyster.
I'm gonna take a picture of you with that, even though we're on the air. So
Okay,
get
sure.
A picture. Here we go. Ready? Yeah, awesome.
Am I like tilting? Because if I tilt it, I'm gonna lose all the.
You're good. You're
okay. Good. Where was I? Yeah, so we do fresh raw shucked oyster like this one right here. We do baked oyster, fried oyster, and steamed oyster.
Oh, wow.
So if it's
choices.
If it's oyster, then that's what we carry. We can, if it's like a private event, we can do a special if a particular special, like let's say a mussel paella, for example, is something that we've done. That's my favorite special. That would be like for a private event.
Okay. So why oysters? Of all the things in the world that you could ever do.
Yeah.
Why?
Oysters are, first of all, my research at UConn, my work is related to shellfish quality. Shellfish are really sustainable. You take something like mussels and oysters, it is one of the most sustainable protein sources that exist. It's it's a positive for the environment. They're healthy. They're like little packets of vitamin, basically. They're full of critical omega-3 critical vitamins and minerals. And they're delicious. People like them.
Yes, they are.
So it makes it easy for me to feel proud of serving oysters.
I think for some people who don't like it, it's kind of like the slime factor. Like I'm gonna guess people who don't like oysters maybe don't like eggplant or okra or slimy-ish kind of things. So you're cracking open a different species now. Which one is this one?
These are actually Crassostrea virginica. So this is an oyster from, I try to get local products. So actually I have an agricultural background, and as part of that, I was always really into the farm to table movement, right? So we were talking earlier about getting to know what is actually like local, what is in your area, and so I always loved the farm to table movement. That's actually the name Reef to Table. It is inspired by that.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, makes sense.
And so I like to get product from anywhere from Connecticut, Rhode Island, or Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that is, well, obviously I'm serving Crescent Stray Gigas, and that is not from, that is from the Pacific, but that's more just for an example of showing the diversity that you can get in oysters. But these are Crescent Stray Virginica. These are actually also pretty salty.
Oh, okay. Can I try that one?
Of course.
I'm gonna try that one. So this one is a little bit smaller,
Yes.
so there's less meat, but that's okay. I'll still try it. I don't want it to go to waste, right? So from the time you pick this up from the oyster farmer, how much time do you have before you have to do something with it as far as time intensiveness? And I'm gonna slurp this down while you answer that question.
Yeah, so from regulatory perspective, it's actually more dependent on the temperature. But most restaurants, or Reef to Table included, it's really gonna want to be like within 2 days.
Oh, 2 days, okay.
Yeah, they no one. People like fresh product.
Yeah.
I like fresh product, and so if I'm gonna be serving an oyster, I'm gonna say I have an event on Saturday, I'm picking up that oyster either on Thursday or Friday from the farmer.
So that's quite the commitment to fresh product and bringing a quality oyster to a person's table. I gotta tell you, I just tried the second oyster. It's amazing. I love them even more now today than I did before I came in to talk to you. You do a great job of picking a good quality oyster to eat. So yeah, this is really good. What do you ever cook with oysters? Do you ever do anything beyond the raw or the baked kind of thing?
Yeah, so I mean raw, baked, fried, and steamed. But if you make like you were talking to me about a stew, I've made soups that use like oyster stock basically.
Oh yeah.
Obviously it brings a seafood flavor to a soup. I'm a big soup person. I love vegetables, so I'll like. You can make like a soup with some oyster stock and a bunch of carrots and. Do
you harvest your own stock? Do you make it? How do you find the stock? Where's that coming from?
So that is, I mean, obviously from oysters. Oh, that is a beautiful oyster.
Wow, you got some good ones here.
Yeah, that is a good looking.
Wow. Oh, these look so good.
Yeah, so I have in terms of like where do I get it from? So I have a shellfish lease, or I have an oyster lease in Guilford, Connecticut. Most of my product is coming, like I said, either from Connecticut or from some other farmers in Massachusetts or Rhode Island. Yeah, for making like an oyster stock, I mean, it's just you boil oysters and then use that water for making a soup.
For your soup. So I'm here with Keegan Gelbert. He is are you the sole owner?
Correct, yeah.
Of Reef to Table. He is available for bringing his truck to where you are to make amazing oyster things. And I'm clearing my throat because the part of it went down the wrong pipe.
Oh no.
And it's not because of the quality of the oyster.
Do you want me to get some water?
It's nothing. I should just eat another oyster, and I think that'll just cancel
that
it
would
out.
Also have some water.
All right, I may just get an ice cube, but I think I'm okay. You can find Keegan at Keegan, Keegan, at reeftotable.com if you want to hire him. So is it REEF?
REEF, yes.
And then TO?
Yes.
TABLE, right?
Correct.
So there's no like number in it. It's
no.
You spell it.
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you have other interests besides oysters? Like, do you have any dreams in the future of doing something here with oysters or other things in a truck or anything like that? Or I mean, you just started. So you started when doing this? You started doing this.
Oh, geez, the oyster research I've been doing for years.
Oh, okay.
So that is our research at UConn. Our work at UConn is related
Okay.
to shellfish quality. But commercially, like doing the selling oysters out of the
truck.
trailer, out of the truck. That is, yeah, we've just launched this in March, and it's still March. So
Oh, so
so we've done a couple events.
since the beginning of March, this 2026,
Yeah.
this year.
I mean, it takes a while to get the licenses and go through
Yeah.
the health department
that.
and make get the trailer wraps, put your brand to the business. So that took a few months, but yeah, just our first event was in March.
Well, congratulations to you. So where'd you learn how to shuck? Like that looks like it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, shucking is.
And for radio people, he's shucking while he's talking, so like he's multitask. I gotta give him a lot of credit here. So where did you learn how to do that? That's quite the skill there.
I learned at home, and I mean, just I eat a lot of oysters, so I didn't take an oyster shucking class. I just eat a lot of oysters, and so that obviously requires shucking a lot of
And
oysters.
it does, yeah. Well, and as far as you touched on this a little bit, as far as the nutritional value of oysters. So, are there? I know some people are kind of nervous about eating raw things. So, what would your comment be in that in that area?
Yeah, if you are someone concerned about eating raw seafood, there are other ways to eat seafood. I get it. It is a reality that consuming raw seafood products it does carry a higher risk of of foodborne illness than eating a cooked product. That doesn't mean you can't eat oysters. My favorite way my favorite way of eating an oyster is a steamed oyster. It's delicious. It is a cooked product, and I should also mention our state, Connecticut, has really high, really strict. How do I say?
Standard.
Really, yeah, that's a good way to say it. Really strict safety standards on shellfish products. So, some of the foodborne illnesses that you might see more of, like in maybe in other countries or in like. I'm like trying really hard to avoid naming anything specific because I don't want to upset anyone.
All right. Yep.
But I will say our state holds a really high standard for food safety. But still, if you prefer a cooked product, steamed oyster,
It's up
baked
to
oyster,
you.
fried oyster, it's delicious.
I'm gonna take this big one here, and I'm gonna take it closer to the camera,
Sure.
and I'm gonna ask you to tell us what are, like, for those of us who like raw oysters.
Yeah.
How do I know if I'm eating a good one or a bad one? Like, are there certain indications, certain things I should visually look for in an oyster at all?
Yeah. In terms of like, there's nothing wrong with the dripping. I'll show off another one. This is This is one of the Crescent Virginica.
Yeah.
That is, visually that's a beautiful oyster.
And what makes it like a good quality oyster? Like, what are the markers as a consumer? How do I know if I'm getting a good oyster? I'm gonna eat this one too.
Okay. The smell. I'm gonna say smell first things first. You can have it. Just trust your senses. You can be a professional oyster farmer. You can be a professional oyster chef, and that doesn't mean it's guaranteed that every oyster is going to be the same quality. It is a natural product. It can vary. How do I say that? It varies.
It varies.
It varies. And actually, that is kind of where my research at UConn is in shellfish quality. How can you ensure consistent quality shellfish?
Yeah.
But it is a natural product at the end of the day.
Sure.
So trust your senses. Smell it. If you're getting it at a restaurant, you should hope that the chef or the server is is making sure that it's a good product.
Now, how did you, like, yours are not even gritty. How is that possible?
So there's two things that can make an
So
oyster.
tender, I just can't believe it.
There's two things that can. I should have grabbed a plate.
You go ahead, keep talking, I'll find something.
Yeah, there's two things that can make an oyster gritty, like you mentioned, and that is, you could have shucker error. Say, if I'm sitting here shucking oysters and I'm getting a bunch of shell into the oyster, that's going to result in,
Okay.
you're going to be chewing on shell basically. People don't like that.
Yeah.
And then
Make
the
your
other one,
teeth.
yeah. Then the other one is something that you can't really control as a shucker, as a server, and that is sand.
Yeah.
So if you're eating an oyster that just, in the water, they live in the ocean. If you have
What do you expect,
if you have a bunch of sediment that's flowing around and it is a filter feeder, it takes in everything around it. It takes in a bunch of sand. Now you're going to be chewing on sand,
Okay.
and that's going to make it gritty. There are ways that you can alleviate, I guess, that grittiness. So for example, like wet storage is actually a practice. There's a facility in Boston that does that. They basically take in. It's more common with clams, but it is sometimes done with oysters. They take in, freshly caught oysters or clams. They keep it in an aquaculture system, constantly purified water running through it, and that will get rid of that grittiness that you could experience.
All right. Well, I'm here with Keegan Jalbert, like I said at least twice before, Mr. Reef to Table.
Yeah.
Do you have a Facebook page?
We do have Facebook. Yeah, it's just Reef to Table
Okay.
on Facebook.
People can, like, you'll probably post like where you're going next, if it's open to the public, anything like that.
Yeah, so we're gonna start reaching out to wineries, breweries,
Awesome.
like vineyards,
Good for you.
breweries, and distilleries.
Mr. First Year Masters in Nutritional Science from
Yes.
Towlin, Connecticut. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for bringing oysters. I love them. I will always be a fan. I got to go now, and so do you probably. So, hey, this is Ruth Hartunian-Allenbaugh, otherwise known as Ravings and Cravings. I am signing off here on Good Company, WILA.